Hi, so part 5 of how to use a dictionary. So in the last part, we found out about syllables, how the word is broken out in syllables, and the accent mark, as in where to put the stress. Now, the next thing is, how do you represent the sound of the letter in the dictionary? So here's an example, right? We have the word cat, and then we have the word city. It is a letter C in both instances. But here we have k, and here we have the sound s. Now, if a person did not know that the sound k can also sound s, they would read this as kitty. And obviously, if they went and talked to someone and said, "Oh, where is a kitty?" The person would think they're talking about a cat. I'm just giving you a simple example here. So how do you represent this difference of sound? And here's another example here. We have bed and he. So we have the letter E, but here it's E, that's the sound, and here the sound is E. So bed, he. If the person didn't realize and said bead, can I buy a bead? I would like to sleep in a bead. That would not work. So how do you represent the sounds? That's very simple, and I'm going to show you right now some examples. So the way you will see the pronunciation is with this symbol here. So in dictionaries, you will have this set of symbols, which is called a bracket or brackets, but also more officially parenthesis. And it comes from a Greek word, which I've got set here, which means to put beside, because usually what happens is you'll have a text, it's followed by parenthesis, and in the parenthesis, you will have additional explanation next to something else. That's why we use that word, and means to put beside. So what we have then, we'll have the word in the dictionary. So let's take the word fix. And then in the brackets, I'll use the word brackets just for the simplicity, because parenthesis is a little bit harder to say. And we have it in the brackets here, and we'll see here, F-E-K-S. Obviously, it's not written like that. It's written with a X, but the sound sounds like fix. Then we'll have another example here, 5. And here we have F, and we have a different symbol, an I, or what looks like an I, actually with a little line above it. And that means I as in ice, the sound I. Now, how do you know those sounds mean that? Well, because every dictionary has what's called a pronunciation key. And that is the list of all the symbols or the signs which are used to represent the sound. And each dictionary will have it normally at the beginning. They have the full list at the beginning. And usually the good dictionaries will have also on one page, either on each page or on every 2 pages, they will have the list there so the person can have a look at it. So let me show you right now in the Webster's Dictionary how that works. Okay, let's go on the Webster's. So as I open the Webster's, right inside the cover, we have the pronunciation key. And what it does here, it tells you what the symbol is. So some of the letters look like the alphabet letters, but they're not the alphabet letters. So we don't call them letters. We're just calling them a symbol. And a symbol is a sign for something, yeah, that represents something. So here, that symbol, which looks like an A, but here we're going to use it as a symbol, are keywords. So here it tells you this symbol is the same as the sound in ask or fat. Okay? Then you'll see this symbol here, which looks like the letter A with a little line above. Now, when you see that symbol, it sounds like in ape. A in ape or date. Then you have the next one here with 2 little dots. And that sounds like car or lot. Now, okay, this is an American dictionary. So car and lot is not the same sound in British English, and I'm saying car lot. So as I'm not American, I guess it would be like car, a lot. So it would sound the same. All right. So you'll see that's where you got your differences. Anyway, here next. So we have what looks like an E, although we're just saying it's symbol there. And that's the sound as in elf or 10. So it's elf, 10. And this one, as in air, as in berry, care, berry, care. So you see slightly different sound. But again, it's going to be Americanized, so I'll probably pronounce it slightly different. So, and this one with a line on top is actually means the sound E. So even and meet. Now you notice, don't you, that even though the spelling of these words is different, as in meet or even, we're looking at the sound only. Okay, just the sound. Even as in berry, care. So it's a berry, care. That's what we're looking at, the sound. So not necessarily the spelling, just the sound. Right, and it goes on like this all the way through. Okay? Now on some, particularly on the vowels where the sounds can be very, very different, right? So these are your vowel sounds. Then we have here what's called a schwa. And I've covered this in another video. So this is an upside down E. It looks upside down. And what it is, it's an unstressed sound. And it sounds like ago, E in agent, E in father, I in unity, O in collect, and in focus. And if you just pay attention, you can barely hear the word. It's not stress. It's, sorry, the sound. It's ago, agent, father, unity. You don't say unity, unity. You just sound, it's less stress. And that's what this represents, a schwa. Collect. You see, we're not saying collect, we're saying collect. And focus, you know, the accent is actually on focus. You don't say focus. Yeah? So this is how it works. Now we have, it can be a bit challenge. The schwa can be a little bit of challenge for non-English, non-native speakers, but you just have to get used to it. And now when we have the consonants, most of them are the same. So b, d, f, g, h, that doesn't change. Yeah? B as in bed, dub, d as in did, had, f as in fall, off, and so on. So that's the same. No much change. Y in yet, yard, z in zebra, his. However, we have an extra set of symbols here where it will tell you exactly. So we have ch as in ch, arch, chin. So when you see that, you know it's ch. But what about, that's it, chin, sorry. And then, I don't know what, look at this little sign here. That's ing, the ng. That's sh, the, th, thin, truth, and then the, then, father, and then S as in pleasure. So this is the example of pronunciation key for this dictionary. And now, not all dictionaries will have the exact same pronunciation key. A lot of them do. So you just simply check your own dictionary and be sure. Now let's have a look at the word city that we looked at in the previous post. So here we have city. Let's find city here. Let's see how the dictionary has it here. Oop, here we are. I've got the wrong page. I just banged something. I got a bit distracted here. Here we go. City. Right, let's have a look at city. So if you look at the word here, first of all, you see that the accent mark is broken in two syllables. First, city, so two syllables. We have the accent mark here, just after the first syllable. So we know that it's the first syllable, which is stress. City. And here we have that E with a line. And if we look at here, there's a little, as I said, on each page, you will have a reminder. They have not bothered to put the standard consonant like B, D, P, because they're just the same sound. So we look at here and we find that that's it. The E with a little line above is even. So it says here, city, city. All right. Let's have a look at 5. Let's have a look at the same words. Where are we? Up here. There you go. We have 5 here. So 5, like it shows, F, and we have that, the little I with a line on top. And if we look here, we find the reminder that that is the same sound as in bite and fire. So we look at that, we see that we have the entry word, we see that we have the brackets, and inside we have the pronunciation. So I hope that makes sense. And then it's a case of practicing. But if in doubt, you just go to the reminder key here or to the main key at the front of the dictionary. So we have the entry word, the bracket, then the actual symbols inside for the pronunciation, and the accent mark. That tells you where the stress is. Okay? And let me find another example if we can find it here. Here, I just want to show you something here, for example, where we have just one syllable, like a flake. You see here, there's no accent mark because it's just one syllable. We have the A with a line, and we know that it's A as in ape. So we have flake. Okay, and then before that, we have another word without the E, and it's different. We look at the A, and it's A as in fat. So that's flak, the fire of anti-aircraft guns, or loud and strong criticism. So flak, flake, and you can see the difference of how it is represented with sound here.